Hello, hello. All right, I am back with another book turned movie. I had to make sure I got that part right. Eat, Pray, Love. So shout out to Mo because she recommended this book to me. I probably never would have read it if not for her recommendation. The movie came out a while ago. I don't know exactly what year it was, but I've never seen the full movie. I've only seen like bits and pieces of it, I think, and it was all right. Not the best thing I've seen, but she said the book is so much better. Okay, fine. So I decided to take a gander at it, and it came out in 2006, so it's kind of been around for a minute, and it is 331 pages, but I read through it really quickly because once I started, I couldn't put it down. So she recommended to me because I have a lot of stuff happening in my life right now, and she thought it would be good for me to read, and I could not agree more because it was amazing. So this book, okay, so Elizabeth Gilbert, the author, she has like the perfect life, seemingly perfect life to start. She's got a great job, she's an author, and she's sold a bunch of books and reads articles and things like that. She's got the husband, she's got the house. So what's next? Now she's supposed to start having kids, and she starts questioning everything like, do I want to have kids? Do I want to do this? Do I want to do that? And she comes to the point that she realizes that she's really not happy in her life and in her relationship. So she's like, something has to change. So she realizes this, but she's unable to make the difficult decision of going through with it and moving on with her life. She becomes depressed. She's suicidal at one point. So she just feels like she needs to find balance, and the divorce ends up being this nasty, drawn out thing, like lasts like a couple years and whatever. So the book starts off like that with like an introduction of like what has happened, but she doesn't really get into specifics. I think it's really good that she doesn't ever say anything mean about her husband, ex-husband, and then her eventual boyfriend, partner after that. She's very aware that there are two sides to the situation and that it's not just all on one person. Okay, so she decides to go on this year-long trip, right? So there's 3 places that she's always wanted to go: Italy, India, Indonesia. Super random, right? Okay, agreed. So first she goes to Italy, and Italy in 4 months in Italy, and this trip is all about pleasure, she says. It's all about pleasure. So she's gonna eat, she's gonna make friends. The whole point of her wanting to go there was because she wanted to learn Italian. Like all her life, that's all she wanted to do was just to learn Italian, even though they only speak it like in actual Italy, but that's beside the point. That's what she's always wanted to do, so she does it. So she's taking language classes, she's meeting people, she's hanging out, she's going on trips, blah, 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 blah. And the thing that I thought was interesting or most applicable was she would say to herself, what would you enjoy doing today? What would make you happy? And this was the first time in her life that she didn't have to live for anyone else. She didn't have to make someone else happy or worry about anyone else. She could just focus on herself. So what would make you happy? Oh, and yes, this is a trip about pleasure, but she's celibate for the year, so there's none of that happening. So after Italy, we go to India. And this was supposed to be about devotion. Now, she talks about praying a lot, but it's not to like the typical, my understanding was it's not the typical God that most people would pray to. It's more like she does meditation and yoga, and it's just like trying to get in touch with yourself and learning about yourself. She goes to an ashram in like the middle of rural India. There's like nothing around it. It's a very poor area, so she's just like hanging out at the ashram for 4 months. There's a guru involved. There's a guy from Texas that became kind of like her, I don't even know what you call call it, like, soundboard, I guess, and it helped her see some other things that were happening in her life. And she would meditate for hours on end. They would wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay. So after India, then she went to Indonesia. In Indonesia, because she had taken a work trip a few years prior to Bali, and she met this medicine man, and he told her that she would be back in a couple years, and that she was going to live with him. Okay. So she shows up to Indonesia, no plans whatsoever. She can't contact the medicine man because she doesn't have his name, doesn't have his address, all of that. She has no place to stay. So she decides, I'm just going to go to Bali and figure it out, right? So she goes, she gets a hotel. Long story short, she gets to him, but it's just insane that she just showed up in this country with no plans. Oh, right, and Indonesia only has a 1-month travel visa, and she wanted to stay for 4. So she talks about how she bribed the policeman to extend her visa, or like lie about it, or I forget what it was exactly, but anyway, so she ends up meeting this mom, and a family, and it talks a lot about the culture of Indonesia, which I thought was really interesting, just how different it is compared to other cultures. And Indonesia, oh my god, I can't speak. The Indonesia trip was balance. So learning how to balance pleasure and devotion, and just having your life together, I guess, because the Balinese are pretty good at that. So anyway, wow, I'm like all over the place today. So she meets this family. She ends up raising money for them to be able to buy a house. There's a bunch that goes into that. And then she meets a guy, and then what happens with that? Now she's definitely mixing pleasure with her balance. Yeah, so that's the year in a nutshell. It was way better than I was expecting. I wasn't really sure. Okay, so like I said, I had seen bits and pieces of the movie, so I was kind of like not sure what it was going to be about, but her writing is phenomenal. Like, it feels like you're just having a conversation with her, and she is so witty and sarcastic and just funny. It just feels like you're there and like you're inside her mind. I really enjoyed her self-reflection. It's very insightful, and a lot of what she said I felt like applies to my life right now. So just being able to see her introspection and then think about my journey was very, very relevant to me. Okay, I think that's all I got. Eat, Pray, Love. If you've seen the movie, the book is way much better. Way better. So, all right, I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on this one. All right, thanks for watching.